So you want to talk about being biased? You got some nerve, homeboy, talking about calling a spade a spade. You got some nerve. You always talk about calling a spade and being truthful. Meanwhile, you are the biggest, most biased dude in here. And I'm sick of talking about this with you, dude, Joe, because we actually have a really good show here. But this dude always wants to come on here and get in my face. Always wants to come on here and get in my face like I don't know what I'm talking about. You shut up, man. Was KD's skill set ever in question? To this day, in 2020,
it shouldn't have been.
Is KD's skill set ever in question?
I don't think so.
I don't think
nobody's ever.
I feel like KD still has the goods. The question with KD has been what over the last 4 years?
Injuries and
his leadership, injuries,
leadership.
Really, that's it. Him being a real leader
right there.
Right, but I don't even want to talk about his ability to lead because I think that's already been established. I just want to talk about his game. His game in particular, the skill set is still there. The goods are still there. Over the last 4 years, however, he's continuously broken down, and it's cost his team. And it's cost his team tremendously. So now him jumping on this Phoenix Suns unit, which the roster got completely flipped. And now what they're going to do is they're going to ask him to do just as much as he was doing in Brooklyn. Is KD going to hold up? That's the $1 million question. I'm not looking at this roster saying this team is a championship team because, again, the roster got completely flipped. This Laker roster, on the other hand, we're talking about, was James on the crew last year, Damo? How about Austin Reeves? Was he there?
Yep.
How about D'Lo? Was he there? Anthony Davis, was he there? Vanderbilt, was he there? I mean, your core guys are still there. You just exchanged some role players. Meanwhile, the Phoenix Suns completely flipped their roster. The only guy on that crew that was on the team in 2022 is Devin Booker. KD played 8 games last year, not including the playoffs. So now what we're going to do is we're basically putting a fresh crew on the floor with Devin Booker. And we expect these dudes to be, just from a talent standpoint, to roll through the league. I just think that's ridiculous, man, considering we haven't seen nothing like that.
Sure, I don't think it's ridiculous, especially since you brought the Lakers up.
Right.
When they flipped their whole roster in the at the trade deadline, they went from 13 seed to damn near the best team in the NBA. I gotta admit it. When I seen what the Lakers were doing after that trade, I was like, shit, it's gonna be some trouble.
Right.
You know. Now, if they were able to do that, and they only had the only people that were still there that was of any real, relevant, making a real impact was Bron, AD, and Austin Reeves.
Correct.
All those guys, other guys you named, were involved in those trades. Now that happened just like that simultaneously.
Right.
Those guys got it together. I don't see why the Suns can't do the same thing after a whole offseason too. Right. Especially, and now I understand what you're saying. It makes sense, but when you have that level of talent, I do think it's a little easier. And it seems, I know it's just preseason, but it seems like those guys that made three, it seems like they enjoy playing together. Right. It doesn't seem like they're having any issues moving that ball around. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, like I was saying during the offseason, they're gonna move DeAndre Ayton. I know a lot of people are saying, nah, they might hang on to them. I'm like, in order for them to be competitive, they have to establish a bench. Now, if you ask me, the Suns have a top five starting unit in the NBA. On top of that, I do believe the Suns have one of the top 10 benches in the NBA as well. Mm-hmm. I'm very impressed by the bench the Suns put together. I know some of them might be no-name guys or whatever people want to call them. Right. That bench is super underrated. I do think the Suns are going to run through the NBA, and the more and more I look at the way that those three are moving that ball around, and sometimes, just like I would expect, they fall in love with a little ISO ball. But when you fall in love with ISO ball and it's Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, even I'm like, do what you want to do. Now, they're not going to win doing that, but if they do keep moving that ball around, if Frank Vogel and don't forget Coach Fizdale's on that bench too.
Right.
If those guys can keep that ball moving, that team, I might be willing to go ahead and say
they can win the NBA championship.
Suns and 6.
Hey, but I
really want to see. I really want to see what's going to happen.
That's one of the biggest things that I was saying when the trade first happened, though. You've never known KD to be a selfish guy. KD was playing with Russell Westbrook, and we were trying to grab KD by his shirt, like shoot the fucking ball. Stop letting Russell Westbrook dominate the ball. We were getting mad at KD and getting mad at Russ. Like, yo, Russ, you need to give KD the ball. KD, you need to be more assertive and go get the ball. Fast forward, Brooklyn. He played with Kyrie and James Harden. Those are one of the two most high volume scorers ever. Fast forward, last year he played with Chris Paul and he played with Devin Booker. Oh, I'm forgetting something. He played in Golden State. KD's used to playing around other talented guys. So we were never concerned about KD. Devin Booker, he plays the game the right way. Like when you watch Devin Booker, he's not really a ball hog like that. Like he will move the ball. He will score off the ball. Bradley Beal, I know a lot of people haven't really watched Bradley Beal too much, but if you have watched Bradley Beal plays the game the right way. He gets to his spots. He doesn't just sit out there and dribble the ball a bunch. He moves the ball around. He moves without the ball. So like when these three guys got together, that's why I was so quick to say, oh, this is a three that makes sense. This three made more sense than other than Golden State, any other three that he's been on.
Oh, this three is far better, and I was saying that when Bradley Beal
far better than Irv and James.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely far better. And it's not, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Bradley Beal is better than Kyrie Irving, and I'm not saying that Devin Booker is better than James. Well, I am saying Devin Booker is better than James Harden, but you know, I'm not necessarily saying like talent for talent. I'm just saying the cohesiveness, the ability to play together. I don't now unless y'all know something I don't know. I haven't really heard of these guys being locker room problems. I haven't heard that
they haven't been. They haven't been.
It's not no shade at Kyrie. It's big shade at James Harden though. I've never heard of Devin Booker flying to New York and partying when the team's supposed to be together. I've never heard of Bradley Beal just walking, just not showing up to training camp. I've never heard of these things. Now, if it's happening and I'm just out the loop, please let me know. But I don't see I've never seen that problem from these three guys. And they're just like Ron said, they play the game the right way. And I know people, they still don't have a point guard. They don't have a point guard. But the thing about the NBA now is there's just a lot of untraditional shit is going on that's not winning. That's not, you know, not a black eye on your team, if you would. Like I've seen a lot of untraditional things going on in the NBA. So I don't think they necessarily need a point guard. It would be nice to have a guy that can settle down in the fourth quarter and really put things together. It would be nice to have a 2020 Rajon Rondo. You know what I'm saying? It would be nice to have a Ricky Rubio, a guy like that. That would be nice. That would be nice.
I think Devin Booker played amazing.
What happened to Ticket, yo? What happened to Ticket? This is that's first of all. Number two, what you talking about, Ox? I just think about when the game gets helter skelter. That part, when the game gets helter skelter, that's the thing that I'm thinking about. When the game slows down, and then I'm also thinking about injury. And this dude in the comments, Buddy, talking about calling a spade a spade. So you call a spade, Buddy, because last I checked, where's Kevin Durant from, Ron?
DC.
Yeah, where's Buddy from? So you want to talk about being biased? You got some nerve, homeboy, talking about calling a spade a spade. You got some nerve. You always talk about calling a spade and being truthful. Meanwhile, you are the biggest, most biased dude in here. And I'm sick of talking about this with you, dude, Joe, because we actually have a really good show here. But this dude always wants to come on here and get in my face. Always wants to come on here and get in my face like I don't know what I'm talking about. You shut up, man. Get off my...